One of the things when I was out one night, I had run across a young lady who had been bullied pretty severely. She was crying her eyes out, and when I asked her what happened and who did it, she pointed to a group of boys down the road. So I pull up to these boys and go, okay guys, what's going on? And their voice, their message to me was, Ward, we don't have anything to do up here. It's not our fault. We have no parents that really care. Nobody seems to care about us. We've got nothing to do. I left. I went back to the detachment and I started thinking about, well, what could I give them to do? What could we do to keep them active or busy? So I went on a scrounge and I found hockey nets, and I bought a basketball hoop, one of those portable basketball hoops, with my detachment budget money, and found a trampoline, and a local little store held a bit of a bake sale, and we got soccer balls, and we had all this playground equipment that we put into the detachment grounds at Fost, because we had the only pavement. So this giant playground, just one thing was missing: the kids. There was no way they were going to come to the very place where they were being arrested, interrogated, or in their mind, don't want to be anywhere near or at. Recognizing, so I've gone to all this extreme. One morning, when I get up early and I walk like my 20 feet from my house to the detachment, I'm looking at all my officers' desks, and there's piles up feet high of investigations and court cases for youth court for the various and outrageous amount of crime that was happening in that community, mostly committed by the youth. So what we were doing wasn't working. Doing more of the same was not working. So I grabbed a whole bunch of boxes, put all the files in the boxes, hid all the investigations and all the court cases in the crawl space of the detachment, called up the local judge in High Prairie, Judge Goodson, and said, don't bother coming out for youth court this month. I'm trying something different. The officers come into work, their desks are clean, there's no files. They go, what happened? I go, I shredded all the files. They said, you what? I said, I shredded them, they're gone. It's not working, so let's try something different. They said, are you crazy? You're going to lose your job over this. I said, well, just work with me on this. Let's just try something different. Let's try to get the kids up to the detachment. And let's start trying to connect with them. Well, they don't want to come. What part of they don't want to come don't you understand, Ward? So I sent my officers out to get the kids. They come back, they say they won't come. I said, I want you to get them and I don't care how. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen the back of RCMP cars, but there's like a cage. And once you're in the back, you can't get out. The doors don't open up in the back, and you're stuck in there. So I said, go grab them, scoop them, throw them in the back. Well, what about their constitutional rights, one officer said. I said, what about them? So off they go, and basically scooping kids off the street and bring them up to the detachment, let them out, and said, now you're going to play with us. So you got to see this. The members, the police officers at first are saying, whoa, this is, I don't know if I want to be jumping on the trampoline and playing road hockey and basketball. But I said, but that's what I'm paying you to do. Now let's just try to make a connection and make a difference, because nothing else is working. Well, it started to work, to a point where I decided to set up a concession outside to attract and trick more kids to come. So with my government credit card, I ended up buying every piece of candy and neat little soft drink and possible every other treat for the kids and set up a concession outside. So you come by the detachment, you can see 25 to 75 kids out there jumping and playing and having a hoot and hollering time. And police officers. He may have his uniform shirt on and he's wearing shorts. He may be in sweatpants or he may be in uniform without his hat, playing with kids. Because there was no calls to go to. Because we had them all corralled at our detachment. It was working great. My boss did a surprise audit on me. Now, I had blocked off the entrance and exit to the detachment. You couldn't get in because we just created a giant playground. So he had to park outside on the ditch, beside the ditch, on the dirt road. And anyways, when he got out of his police car, he slipped in the ditch, fell in the mud, walks into the detachment. He's just covered in mud in his Mountie uniform. And so I get him a couple handy wipes. I says, hey, Staff Sergeant, you might want to clean yourself up. Well, he's not too impressed. I tell him, look, crime's dropping like unbelievably, like it's just gone away. because the very nature of the problems that we were running to and having to react to have ended because we're trying something different. And I said, look at our overtime budget, because it was blown, like by about month number 3, I was way over on the overtime. I said, look, there's no more overtime, we're not getting called out. He didn't know what to say, he left. I didn't get any phone calls, so I'm thinking, okay, this is great. So I'm in the office one day, doing up my paperwork, justifying why I spent all this money on the government credit card. And every 5 minutes, the buzzer rings, the back door of the detachment, because it's a secure environment, somebody wants to use the bathroom every 5 minutes. So I'm escorting kids in and out to the bathroom. It's driving me nuts. So I come up with this harebrained idea to rent an outhouse and to place one of these porta potties in the back of the detachment grounds, so the kids and the police could do their business instead of bugging me, so I could keep doing the paperwork that I had to do to justify everything that I was doing. And things are going great. So I come up with the next harebrained idea, well, I'm going to go out with a media release and kind of share this story with the local communities, because they had chipped in and helped out and were believing in this vision. So when I do up the press release and I put it in the fax machine, you got 2 buttons, local and national media. And guess which button I pushed by mistake? National. Too late. The story's out there. The next day in the front page of the Edmonton Journal. Headlines. RCMP gone into the crapper. And then the next subtitle is that gone into the outhouse, rented an outhouse with government credit card. It goes on and just tells all the story. Now by this time I'm starting to shake in my boots because I know what's going to happen next. And the phone call comes. My executive assistant says, Ward, it's God on line 1. You know who God is? In the RCMP, it's the commanding officer of the province of Alberta, Don McDermott. So I'm standing at attention with the phone to my ear beside my desk. Sergeant Clapham, this is Assistant Commissioner Don McDermott, your commanding officer. Looking at the front page of the Edmonton Journal. It says we've gone into the crapper. It says that you've gone and rented a shitter with the government credit card. It says that you shredded all the investigational files. I says, no, actually I didn't shred. She said, shut up, Clapham. It says that you shut down youth court. It says that you went and created concession, again using the government credit card. It says that officers are out there playing with the kids, not in uniform, night and day. It's mayhem. You've blocked off the detachment. Clapham. It says that everything's out of control out there, but it's not. And by this time I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm in big trouble. And you don't want to lose your command, but I knew this was coming, right? So I'm waiting for the next message from the boss. He says, Sergeant Clapham. I go, yes, sir. He says, great job. I said, pardon? He says, outstanding work that you and your men have done up there. Now how can we replicate this across the rest of the province? Well, you can't imagine how excited all of us were after getting that message from the boss. When's the last time that you have said to one of the people that you lead, good job? When's the last time you just walked up to one of your colleagues, one of the people you lead, or your boss, and just said, you know what, genuinely, I just want to thank you for that extra hour you put in this report or this extra effort that you've taken? When's the last time you've just printed off a thank you card and wrote a note saying thanks a lot for the great job you did? Maybe you put in a $5 coffee card as just a nominal little addition. How hard is that?